Good morning. Good Monday morning to you. May 2nd. Time is flying by this year. It's crazy. Especially when Supercross season is going on. I guess just because we're going different places every week, it just seems like it flies by. So we are in Denver this morning. It's nice and cold and rainy. I figured that out when I went to take the dog out this morning. But man, it was a beautiful day Saturday at the races. Had an awesome day. Actually got to take my girls. First time they've been in a long time, so they really enjoyed that. Jason Anderson got a win. That was awesome. But Friday, man, what a windstorm. Holy crap. It was, I've been at stadiums where the winds got bad before, but usually there's a storm going on, and there were storms nearby Friday, but man, there was gusts up to 60 mile an hour. The podium was actually moving back and forth. It was pretty intense, actually pretty scary moments there. I mean, I actually seen Porta-John sliding across the parking lot, like hovering. So it was interesting to say the least. But I got an interesting thought for you this morning. This week, one of the things I'm going to be talking to with my normal coaching group is logical thinking. When it's good to use it and when it limits us, when it holds us back. And I think anybody that's working on achieving something, logical thinking is great at some points, but also I think it can be one of the biggest roadblocks for people, and we don't even realize a lot of times. And trust me, I'm a logical thinker. I'm an analytical thinker. I love to use video, data, stuff to move what people see in themselves, really create certainty within what people are doing. But I can tell you from a personal standpoint, when we're planning on achieving something, when we're working on the plan, when we're setting our goals, a lot of times the big mistake that I've made in the past is I look what I have to work with. I look at my resources, my circumstances, and then I plan off of that. And to be honest, it's one of the biggest mistakes that I've made, and I've made it many times throughout my life, is to look at it from that standpoint. If you're flying an airplane, using logical thinking is very important. 2 plus 2 equals 4. You can't, 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 10. But, if you're driving across the country, trying to go, somewhere that takes 10 days, do it in one day, it's not going to be, it's not a value to you. But when it comes to actually planning out what we're trying to achieve, and when we're trying to set what we really, really want to do, that's when you got to use, take the logical thinking out of it. That is what I've found. Many different experiences, but this goes all the way back to the first year I went to California to help racers. We were doing a project, and to be honest, on our way out there, we had no way or idea of how we were going to pull it off. We didn't, what we were planning to do, we didn't have the resources. The circumstances weren't right, but we just left and went anyways and figured it out as we went. And the thing is, we were asking for a lot more than what we had resources for. If we had just planned off of our resources and our circumstances, we would have never left. And I can't tell you how many times we have done that year after year. At the beginning of the year, there's a lot of uncertainty going into Supercross. People are getting hurt. There's not a lot of certainty at the beginning of the season. And almost every year that when we go to California, I don't have it all figured out. And I'm shooting beyond what my circumstances and resources are supporting at the time. But I can tell you, not one year has it not worked out. So I run across this. It's actually Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. He has a saying in there, a poem. I don't know if he created it or not, but it talks about what you ask life for. And it says, if you ask life for a penny is exactly what you're going to get. It says life is a fair employer. So when it comes to shooting, because many times I've like I said, I've based my plan off of my circumstances and my resources, and then at the end of the day, I'm going, man, I wish I could experience this in a different way. I wish things weren't so tight, resources weren't so small. And to be honest, I set that up to be that way. And trust me, I've lived on both sides of the fence here. And when you you know, really plan for what you want to do versus what you have resources and circumstances to do, it's crazy how life will go to work and make that happen. And we've used it in our personal life, used it in business life, and I continue to work on things that in that area because I still at this point in my life, there's still areas where I'm using logical thinking to plan out my next achievement in that area, and I'm only holding myself back. I'm only limiting myself. So just wanted to share that with you guys this morning. It's one of those things that I think it's easy to outsmart ourselves sometimes. So, man, you guys have a great Monday. I don't know how many times I'll be on here. We got a crazy travel schedule again this week, and then next week we'll get back to some normalcy. So, but I'll definitely try to jump on later this week. You guys have a great Monday.